morning. How you doing? Can you hear in the back? Give me a thumbs up. I'm Mehrnaz Campbell, and I'm joined here with my two friends, Vanitha from Novo Nordisk and Patrick from Daiichi Sankyo. And the topic of this fireside chat is evolution eats transformation for breakfast, right? Patrick, you came up with that title, and I love it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're cool. So what we're going to talk about is a controversial topic. We're going to open the can of worms, and we're going to focus on specifically about pharmaceutical marketing. Is it relevant? Is it evolving? Or has it lost its mojo? So we want to involve you in this conversation because this is just boring to listen to us three. So I'm going to ask them to put the poll questions up, and I want you to just tell me, do you think pharmaceutical marketing is evolving or not? And you've got Slido QR code, so please use your phone, point at it. And you've got 4 options. Do you think the pharma marketing is, as we know it, is going to disappear? Do you think it needs to evolve? The third option is marketing always survives. And the fourth option is marketing will carry on doing the same old thing over and over again. So while you answer your questions, let's see what you're saying. Cool. Oh. So everybody thinks marketing has to evolve to survive. Good.
Good.
Few of you think it will carry on doing the same thing. 6%, oh, that's reducing. I can't quite see the percentages on the top one.
That means it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
We have a
so
winner.
let me start with you, Patrick, while
Yes.
we're measuring the audience opinion on this. What do you think? Do you think marketing is evolving or is losing its mojo?
So I try to be a little bit provocative, and let's see how many friends I have at the end of the 15 minutes. So if we think about marketing and other functions, I believe if there's one function who would disappear overnight, and we would not realize which function could this be. I'll let you make your own choice, but I think there's a good chance it could be marketing. And this is not because I want to bash marketing, let me explain. So why does marketing need to evolve? On the one side, we have insights generation, we have data scientists, we have data engineers, we have advanced analytics translators, we have very skilled BI functions who actually create scalable insights much faster than market research. So this might not be the job of marketing anymore. We have agencies who use generative AI to create concepts 80% faster than previously, and they can test it at scale. And I believe some of them will start to partner with some of the sponsors you see here. I will not name them, but this would provide a one-stop shop where basically you can create all your content and you don't need any marketeer to interact. And you have digital teams who can create solutions with partners who have the ability to reach more people than any drug on the planet can do. So this is why I believe marketing definitely needs to evolve, and it's not the only function, just to make sure I have some marketing friends with me, yeah? But I think what marketing really needs to do is to become a blend of skilled salespersons and behavioral scientists. And I believe almost all marketeers are skilled salespersons, but they're selling it to the wrong people. They're selling it to the boards, they're selling it to executive and senior management, but they're not necessarily selling it to those who are actually the final users. And these are the doctors and the patients. And I don't believe that market research will be sufficient in the future in order to create a scalable solution which is really relevant. And on the other side, I also believe in other industries, you have seen that behavioral scientists understand very well what is it? Which questions do you need to ask? When and how do you need to involve the final users? Whether it's a visual you create or a campaign or a patient leaflet, it doesn't matter. But we don't need to reinvent the wheel, and I believe marketing is able to do that, and I would love to see evolving marketing into this direction.
Thank you for stirring the pot a little bit there, Patrick. I think when I think about marketing, I think about brand creation, and brand goes way beyond the product. I mean, think about Nike. Nike talks about inspiring the athletes within us and move, just do it. And, I think they focus on, the emotion that it creates rather than just talking about the features and the benefits of the product. So, Vanitha, do you agree with Patrick? Or I hope you don't, because that would be much more interesting, right?
I mean, I definitely agree that marketers need to evolve. So I'm a believer in that for sure. But whether marketers will become obsolete, I don't think so, because they are, the way at least we are approaching and what we are thinking is we should make our marketers super marketers, like somebody told earlier today, right? Where we can actually empower them as the fourth pillar of customer engagement and excellence. So we have our sales rep, great. We have our MSLs, we have our access reps. Now marketers are the fourth pillars of excellence. So I think, and I also agree to Patrick in the sense that market research alone cannot solve all your questions. Especially in the complex and evolving stakeholder landscape that we have. Dario mentioned in his opening speech that we need to think beyond that one powerful customer, which is just the HC piece, and you've been a sales rep yourself. I still remember when you said back in the days, doctors are so powerful, and then if you ask the patients to do a handstand, they'll just do a handstand, right? They'll do anything for the doctor. But now, we are also talking about sustainable scaling in this topic. And it's not just the doctors. There are so many people involved in decision making who are sitting in that position of power and influence. It's like we have the payers, the policy makers, referral networks, center of excellence, patients, caregivers, who not, right? So I think we need to holistically look at this from a customer lens. So fundamentally, the evolution marketers need to imbibe is move away from being product-centric to customer-centric. And of course, they do what they do best. They do segmentation, they do targeting or serving, yes. But then are you including all the relevant questions in your segmentation? Are you doing segmentation in a way that you can actually be super marketeers, that you can cater to all these customers' pain points, barriers, what they truly need, their core beliefs? Are you tapping into them?
Yeah. I think it's a great point. I must admit, I was working with a company. They were trying to do SWOT analysis based on the customers.
You still do.
Yeah, but they couldn't. They couldn't answer any of the questions because they didn't know enough about the customers. They didn't know what are the things that impacts them. So I think to do that, you need to have a really good understanding. So Patrick, I'm going to come to you.
Yes.
There's a lot of shiny things, and they can be a distraction. How can we say no to the shiny things without demotivating people who come up with these innovative ideas?
Yeah. I think it's by focusing on the people and balancing defense and offense. So let me use this soccer analogy. So I think most people are very creative and have fantastic ideas what they can achieve, whether it's incremental innovation or moonshots. I think where most companies and people are less ambitious is to say we need to be at the same level with the ambition, the skills, the knowledge when it comes about the enablers. Data governance, the right roles in place, the right processes, helping people to understand. And shiny object syndrome, I think you can address by reaching out, for example, to marketeers. So here comes the helping hand. Yeah, are you actually aware that if you want to launch a Gen AI solution and you don't have a Gen AI policy in place, it will take us 6 to 9 months. And don't even think about waiting for a global policy, because then you need to wait for 2 years. So how can we keep our friends in the affiliates engaged? If you have an answer, fantastic. Let's start today. If not, what can we do? I think it's not about telling others what to do. If we are not able to sell it ourselves or provide an offer which is attractive enough, then maybe I should ask myself, as leading the digital team, what am I doing wrong? So it's not the marketing team here not listening, it's my inability to sell a solution which is attractive enough. And this is where I believe shiny object syndrome can be maybe not cured, but reduced by really focusing on the people, what they need to know, and creating these attractive offers and moving forward by involving them and letting them know.
Mm-hmm. So Vanitha, do you want to add to that, or do you disagree with Patrick? Please disagree with him.
No, I think this point I just can't disagree, because I think the short answer to that shiny objects, how to say no, is single-minded focus, right? And in the last few months, I have been practicing that myself, right? You need to be very clear on your objective, on your use case. What is it that you really want to achieve with this shiny object? And because there are so many things you can achieve, right? So you need to be really clear and focused. And I think when it comes to innovation and use of these shiny objects, it might be helpful to use some sort of a fundamental innovation framework, whether you might desire, so it's called the desirability, viability, and feasibility framework, which we use often. You might desire a solution or a shiny new object, and then you need to ask the question, is it even available? Is it even feasible to implement that? Then if both answers are yes, then you need to see if it's commercially viable. Is it important? It's so important that at the end of the day, you're sitting in a company and you are spending the money of your shareholders. You need to really know if it is going to give you the benefit that you want to achieve. So I think keeping this framework in mind will also help people understand why we are doing this and where we are coming from, so it's not going to break their hearts when we just say no.
Yeah, we've got 2 minutes, so I'm going to ask you the last question. So what's the human element when it comes to transformation and culture? What's your thoughts on that, Vanitha?
Okay. I come from a culture where it's very hierarchical, where, like, I'm the boss, I say this, you do this. I've been working in Denmark for the last 7 years, and the fundamental shift in culture is Denmark is probably the only country where a student can stand up and disagree with a teacher. They can simply say, no, I'm not going to do this. So it's the most adult country, So I think when it comes to the human element, it's very important to first acknowledge the culture that you are surrounded with, that people are not just going to say yes because you say so. And it's more like a slow burn. You need to be extremely patient. And I would like to share an experience about a book that I've been reading, which is my favorite book, Never Split the Difference. It's written by Chris Voss. He's a former FBI hostage negotiator. So he says, we might think, when we sit in the room, when we see all the people here, we might think, oh, they're all VPs, peers, and they're in high positions. They're all logical. We're going to talk with logic to them. Mm-hmm. But beyond logic, there is emotions, which is driving decision-making. So that's what I've realized, that when you're talking with people, when you're trying to propose something to them, you need to be understanding what their motivation in it is. What is it that they really want to achieve? Why wouldn't they support you? Asking pointed, open-ended questions. How am I supposed to achieve this? What is your perspective? Kind of flipping the whole narrative and making them think and come up with a solution themselves or options kind of helps in the whole transformation journey, and it takes time and patience.
Brilliant. Vanitha, I've been in sales, and I think one of the things I always say and I believe in is sales is not about doing something to someone, it's about doing something for someone. And to do something for someone, you really understand them and get on their agenda. So Patrick, tell me about your perspective on the human element of transformation and culture.
Yeah, thanks, Mehrnaz. So I believe it is very helpful to give people with the ambition and mindset and the skills the opportunity to work at the intersection of specific teams. So what do I mean with that? We have a big analytics team, and we have in every affiliate a person which we call an advanced analytics translator, which is basically a person who can do coding, but also understands the business, because these persons have MBA or they have founded their own companies. We have in our specialty medicines, which is cardiovascular, medical head of innovation and digital strategy. And now you can ask me, okay, but Patrick, why is someone dealing with digital not in your team? Because it doesn't matter where the person sits, but if someone has the credibility because this person is a doctor and interested in innovation, then this person has strong ties to both teams, to the medical team and to the digital team. And if this is the way to convince the team, I'm very happy, to work with this person no matter where this person is. And this is why I believe the answer to human problems are humans.
Yeah. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Vanitha. I think our time is up. the stage is going to open and we're going to be eaten by the crocodiles and dinosaurs, right?
Humans.
Yeah, humans. I don't think we've got time to take questions, but reach out to us during the break, and we see you after the coffee break. Thank you.
Thank you.
you.